just see me now? Would you believe it now? 'Cause we can just spill it over. I'm coming clean in the water. You were just holding now for everything you got now. Come close, you can lean on my shoulder. We're coming clean in the water. Tell me, does the light get low?
Good morning, everyone. Morning, Bev. Good to see you, Bev. Hope you're doing okay this morning.
Tell me, does the time
And Peter's all right and everything all right. Stay relaxed, actually. Welcome. First on to the Circuit Facebook page.
let it go on now? Feel the change, it's what it's all about. Tell me, does it all slow down? If you could just see me now.
Just refresh the music for beginning of a new year. This is The Water by Maury, courtesy of Soundstripe.
I'm coming clean in the water. You were just holding out. I think that you're good.
I'm really looking forward to this morning's service. Because as I said yesterday, I was so encouraged just by the music. It's really distracting when you're trying to focus on putting together the order of the service. And then the music is so good, the worship's so good. You get almost distracted by worship, if there can be such a thing.
We're gonna take back the power.
So morning to Matthew, morning Matt. Sorry, I called you Matthew by mistake. Not done anything wrong, mate. And big thanks for everything you've done over that Christmas period. Much appreciated. And New Year.
Gonna take back,
I think we're due
turn it.
just comparing notes, seeing how things went. Thinking about a covenant service possibly for January for churches who've been able to meet together. So I'll liaise over that.
Couldn't believe it how. Clouds breaking, the sky spilling over. We're coming clean in the water. We were just holding out for everything.
Here's an odd question, just as on the lead into worship.
Back your power.
Looking at the wonderful picture of the baptism of Christ, the fresco there, I found myself giving it a second take because I thought it contained all the elements that I thought we needed to remember today, not least the heavens being torn open. And then I'm looking at Jesus thinking, is he wearing anything? But if you look really closely, you'll see that he is. Morning, Ray. Good to see you. Great to see you this morning. Welcome to worship on the build-up. I'm going to have a look at the headlines in a minute and see where we're at. Morning, Helen. Lovely to see you, Helen. It's been great to have the support of the rest of the team over the last couple of weeks. I've had lots to focus on, but I'm looking forward to prayers tomorrow morning. Of course, I'm looking forward to worship this morning as well. I had to pack your Happy Birthday Jesus lights away, Helen. I don't know if you want them back or whether you want me to hold them for future Christmases. Goodness knows where we'll be, but I've got them neatly stashed anyway. It took me ages to get them freed from the other LED lights. I was having a crisis as everything was mixed together yesterday. checking up on the news headlines this morning, seeing where we are. Looking at the BBC site at the moment. There's stuff on police lockdown fines. I saw that those two ladies in Derbyshire that got fined £200 each for travelling to a reservoir with a cup of coffee to drink it separately and go for a walk, socially distanced. I have to say, thought that was a bit harsh. Derbyshire police then had to take a U-turn, I believe, because it doesn't actually say in the legislation how far you're allowed to travel or not for exercise. But it's something that's dear to me. We have a lovely dog, as people might know, Labrador, and we walk him in a very quiet spot. He needs to be not near other dogs. He's not aggressive, he's just over enthusiastic and will rip my arm off, and he'll be very difficult to walk unless we find somewhere there's less distraction. So yeah, how far is local? And we're not talking half an hour in the car, don't get me wrong. Probably 15-20 minutes, to be honest. Morning, Simon. Lovely to see you. I hope you're doing all right this morning. Thanks for your input on one or two things yesterday coming through on the email. Much appreciated. Interesting story on BBC from Wales. Wales saying teachers and supermarket staff are not key workers. Unions have hit back at decisions from some councils in Wales to deny childcare to certain groups of key workers. And the Welsh Government compiled a list of jobs deemed critical at the beginning of the COVID pandemic, which was provided to local authorities. So interesting story there. If you're interested, pop back to the BBC News website. I'll have to lean forward there because I can't find my back button. I'll resize it that way. Well, looks like Keir Starmer's been busy. What else would you expect as the leader of the opposition? But this time urging ministers to give councils more money instead of increasing a 5% council tax increase. Urging that the government help family protect their budgets. Lovely heartwarming story. A dad-to-be hopes embroidered scans will help blind parents. In that a blind father-to-be, Nathan Edge, was given an embroidered picture of his baby scan as a gift, and it touched him so much he's planned to set up an organisation to help other blind parents. What an amazing idea. What a creative idea that is. So welcome if you're just joining us. It's lovely to see you. Just got under 10 minutes to go before we start with morning worship. Don't forget to say hi to each other. Don't forget to pop your prayers in the prayer requests. Don't forget above all to share where you are. That's really important to us so that others can be part of our growing community. We are keeping well, thank you, Matt. Thanks for asking. Somebody sent me an email yesterday, and the beginning of it was, how are you, how are your family? And then it went down to business, and of course I replied and forgot to had to reply afterwards. Say, oh, by the way, yes, the family are well, thank you. It means a lot when people ask. Yes, we're all doing okay. I think we're all struggling in lockdown like everyone does, but we're all alive, kicking. Beautiful morning at 2:50 this morning, Helen. Did manage to doze off for a while. No nap later, as I have a book to finish for book club tomorrow. I'm in the front room watching you on the TV. Well, there you go. I remember one. I think it was a Sunday morning actually. Anne Yeoman was watching, and we had problems with the sound, and she just commented, "Oh yeah, Eurosport had problem this morning." Thought, yes, us Eurosport. Well, it happens to everyone, doesn't it? But hopefully everything's been nice and clear. She may even get dressed. I'm not even going to get involved in this domestic that's going on here in Simon's house. There we are. Morning to Marianne in Saltfleet. Great to see you. I bet it's gorgeous up there in Saltfleet this morning. Fond memories of driving up for 10:30 services. But there's also the evening services as well on the Lincolnshire coast there, where the sun was setting and they go the back way. And a fox looks at you on the road as if to say, what are you doing here? You're on my land, get off. Lovely to be with you folks. Backing music this morning, just refreshed it for the new year. Also gave it a water theme, tried to give it a water theme. So these are all from Soundstripe. This is called The Water in Moree. Lovely to see you. If you're over on our YouTube channel, just flicking over there to say hello, and from the bottom up, morning to Rachel. Rachel Wilson's with us. You are on the Sunday service, that's all right. It's a legitimate question because it's quite easy when you look at our profile or you look at YouTube to click on the wrong link and find that you are merrily until about 15 minutes in engaging in acts of prayers for yesterday. But no, you're on the right place. Today it is the 10th of January and we've just got under 5 minutes to go before we start morning worship. So morning to Rachel, morning to Tony, bless you mate, hope you're doing okay, and to Lynn as well. Prayers please for Brian Smithyman, pastor at Christian Church in Whittlesea, and his wife Eunice, both in hospital with COVID. Yes, definitely, of course. Our prayers will be going in that direction. Simon's in the background as usual, making sure we collate everything and don't forget. Morning Samira, lovely to see you. Morning Sheila. Readings for this morning are as per the lectionary. We've got Genesis 1 to 5. If you want to go and hunt out your Bible, Genesis 1 to 5, Mark 1 4 to 11, which is the baptism of Jesus. Well, it's a lot more than that. And Acts 19 1 to 17. So Genesis 1 to 5, Mark 1 4 to 11, and Acts 19 1 to 17. Rachel Wilson there saying hello from Louth. Trusting Louth is lovely and sunny at the moment.
Tell me, do the seasons change? In your mind, coming in with the rain. Tell me, does it feel like home? Let it in, let it go on now. Pull it close.
Morning to Pam. Morning Pam, hope you're doing okay this morning. Welcome to morning worship. I'm going to let this track run through. It's a lovely track.
You could just see me
The Water by Emori via Soundstripe.
now. Cause taking risks, spilling over. I'm coming clean in the water. You were just holding out for everything you got now. Come close, you can lean on my shoulder. We're coming clean in the water. Tell me, does the light get low when you're left with the world all alone? Tell me, does the time slow down? Let it in, let it go on now. Feel the change, it's what it's all about. Tell me, does it all slow down? See me now, you would believe it now. Love breaking the sky, spilling over. I'm coming clean in the water. You were just holding out. I think that you're good now. Go down and take back water.
Yeah, it's a great song, isn't it, Samira? Yes. Morning to Jane Wallington.
We're gonna take back
I'm just going to let this run through before we move on to the familiar promo that we used to start the show.
the power.
Morning to Leslie. Great to
Page and hour. Gonna take back the power. Now you wouldn't believe it how. Clouds breaking the sky, spilling over. We're coming clean in the water.
Oh, look, we're live now, apparently.
For everything we
Lovely to see you, just if you're just joining us. To Shirley.
We're coming clean in the water.
Oh. Morning, folks. Doing okay this morning. A few hellos. Hello to Anne. Nothing to do with us, but first things first. It's fantastic to see everyone. I did notice yesterday, I think maybe we had this mobile networks in particular, and things were slowing up. So if you're watching on a mobile, unless we have a problem broadcasting our end, and of course it's fairly easy to kind of catch up with what was happening before on our Facebook page or on our Circuit Facebook page or on our YouTube account. But we were kind of a bit flummoxed at times. Shows you how much you kind of get to connect with both mobile devices on two different networks. So there's a lot of demand out there at the moment, but and so put your comment in again. So morning, and I'm looking at the Peterborough Methodist Circuit Facebook page. So morning to Pam, and morning to Ruth, and Simon's there in the background. We'll have a look at the news headlines in a moment as we lead into worship, thinking about what we perhaps need to prioritise in prayer. Morning to Ray in the background, and thanks, Matt. The family's in a really good state. Okay, and if you saw the promo from yesterday, Matt will be bringing our message for this morning. It involves Pong. But there you go. And morning to Bev and Peter from Yaxley. They're over on our Methodist Circuit Facebook page. On my own profile, hello to the song that's courtesy of Soundstripe that's we played earlier, and Jane Rawlingson. Morning to Jane, and to Helen over Facebook, but I'm not going to get involved in any domestics, but worth a look there. Quite amusing. You hope you're doing okay. To Marianne as well over in Saltfleet. And so we've got 9 watching on Circuit on my profile page. 18. Whoa, 18 out there. So I'll look to the bottom and there'll be more. Me too. I'm eating. Oh, it's all coming now. Breakfast, and now I'm completing. I'm completely lost here, because when you make comments, it kind of goes to the bottom of the screen. This screen's gone absolutely crazy. If I've not said hello to you, and there's people who are appearing now because they're making comments. Hi to Sue Holmes, to Shirley. For having a disrupted night. Yes, Ruth, it probably is your device if we're breaking up, but we'll soldier. It's not a problem. I'm not seeing any problems my end. It's very, very clear my end. But we'll continue, and you'll probably YouTube see what's going on there. Tony, hi to Tony. I'm seeing warnings on the stream analytics. What we do is we broadcast from Castor to Facebook, so Simon will look on that and just see what's happening there if you are getting any break up there. But signals we've got, we're green for go. Matt and others would be glad to know I've got light here in OBS, which signals that the problem is at our end. Morning to Joyce Owen. Didn't have a chance to say good morning to Joyce before. Over in Louth. And I think, yes, Tony had said hello earlier, but important Tony from Lynn and Tony. Prayers, please, for Brian, Christian Church, Whittlesea, and wife Eunice, both in hospital with COVID. And so, good morning to you all, and I hope you're doing okay. Let's just have a quick. You can tell that the monitor's just over there on my left as I'm looking, so hope that's okay. I'm sure you can deal with me not looking at you directly. And things to be aware of that's happening. BBC News titled COVID testing for asymptomatic only just know that I've got vaccinated, but also have I had the virus? Am I carrying the virus? Do I know, how can I know if I'm carrying the virus? And so there's a bid for people on a regular basis, and that's already happening in some really value that, because you could be asymptomatic carrying this horrible disease. Important it is that we keep safe and take care and are mindful of others. Nasty sting in the tail, I feel. And there's a major article about Piri Patel, her approach to the lockdown fight. That news from Derbyshire, which I did feel was a bit harsh, actually. The two women who were friends, who were going to exercise together, who brought both individually bought coffee in flasks and travelled some. The police, and it was thought that this was beyond the spirit of the regulation. It's beyond their local area, and also the coffee counted as a picnic. I do want a little bit more clarity. I mean, what happens if you get in a car and you don't go anywhere else and you go to an isolated spot? That's a concern for me. I mean, we're not travelling sort of miles and miles, but we have a dog that we walk, and he is best walked not in a public park. Perfectly friendly. He's not an aggressive dog or anything like that. It's just that if there's lots of distractions, will be familiar with that. So it's a bit close to my heart, because we do jump in the car, travel somewhere that is completely nobody else knows about it. It's pretty remote. It's about 15-20 minutes away, and we'll see. I think we'd like clarity, but the main thing is in that journey in between, we're very careful. We don't get out. We don't go to other places. We don't go to other shops or anything like that. Carrying on here. There's some concern in Wales because teachers. Some councils don't appear to be following the Welsh Government's definition of essential workers, which is obviously for those who that they also care for at home as well. So that's a major issue there. That Welsh people to lobby the government to think again about a 5% increase in council tax, saying obviously families need to be very aware about their budgets. There's a dad-to-be who hopes embroidered scans will help blind parents. A father-to-be who was given an embroidered picture of his plans to set up an organisation to help other blind parents. Isn't that a great idea? So somebody's obviously found of creating a 3D piece of embroidery or something that a blind person's able to see, so that they can have a record of their child. Across the world here, what have we got? We've got, sadly, a plane crash in Indonesia. The crash site has been located. It crashed within just a minute or two of taking off. And so the Indonesian Navy is saying that it's found wreckage there. So thoughts. Of course, a massive amount of focus on what's happening in America, which is astounding, really astounding, and questions about whether President Trump should be. See that we've got some cutting out here happening, Simon. I'm just sort of seeing a text come through. So obviously we've got no problems broadcasting here. No signals my end. I think that there's problems elsewhere, so I may well do that for you all. Okay, just start before we get into the first team. Of course we can. So just as to say, not our end, but I suspect, I think with networks in general, we're going to do a quick restart. So that will take us 3 to 4 minutes. So I will restart the system from here. But actually, I'll tell you what I'll do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to restart Caster, Simon. So I'm going over to the Caster site. Now, for those who aren't in the know, Caster provide the service that relays to everyone else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch off Caster because everything's working, and relay the service through Caster again. Is that okay? Give me a quick okay. I know it takes a couple of minutes if you're able to see that. And intermittently freezing from Steve. That's right. Okay, give us a quick okay so everyone knows what we're going to do. We're going to... Hi folks, I suspect we're okay on YouTube now, but
Tell me, do the seasons change?
okay folks, we're just looking to restart the stream. It should have restarted on YouTube. I can see a good connection there. I can see problems with Facebook at the moment.
Let it go on now. Pull it close to give it up somehow. Tell me, do you stay the same? You could just see now. Cause we can discuss spilling over. You were just holding
Just bear with us. You'll see me on the phone in a second. I'll just be chatting with Simon.
now. We're coming clean in the water. When you left with the world all alone. Let it in and let it go on now. Feel a change to what it's all about. Tell me, does it all? You could just see it now. You would believe it now. I'm coming clean in the water. You would. I think that you're burning now. The water. Turning a page in an hour. Gonna take. We're gonna take back a page in an hour. If you could just see